Welcome, I'm Edward, and today we're stepping inside a palace so extravagant it once stood as the ultimate symbol of power, wealth, and imperial indulgence. Imagine halls dripping with gold, fountains flowing with perfume, and ceilings embedded with jewels, reflecting sunlight like stars. We're venturing into Emperor Nero's legendary golden palace, the Domus Aurea, an architectural masterpiece that blurred the lines between reality and fantasy. But hidden beneath all that splendor was a darker, more mysterious side. When Nero, the infamous Roman emperor, set out to build his palace, he envisioned something the world had never seen before, a place that would embody luxury, excess, and his own unparalleled ego. The Domus Aurea stretched across nearly 200 acres, spanning multiple hills of Rome, dwarfing any previous royal residence in size and grandeur. Yet this palace wasn't just an extravagant home. It was Nero's vision of earthly paradise. Entire rooms were covered in gold leaf, precious gems adorned the walls, and intricate murals depicted mythical scenes that blurred the boundaries between dreams and reality. Visitors would walk into the palace's grand entrance to be greeted by a colossal statue of Nero himself, towering over them at an incredible 100 feet tall, coated entirely in bronze and gold. It was a clear message. Nero was more than just an emperor. He saw himself as a living god. Now you might wonder, how could such a lavish project even be funded? The truth behind this is astonishing. Nero didn't just rely on taxes from his citizens. He allegedly seized land and wealth directly from the Roman nobility, causing widespread outrage. These extreme actions fed the flames of hatred among Rome's elite. But the reality is even more intriguing. Some historians suggest the Domus Aurea was secretly funded by resources plundered during Rome's infamous military campaigns abroad, making it the ultimate spoils of war monument. Yet it wasn't just the palace's glittering gold that captivated visitors. Nero employed Rome's greatest engineers and architects to achieve unprecedented feats of construction. The palace contained marvels like rotating dining halls, allowing guests to enjoy constantly changing panoramic views of lush gardens and artificial lakes as they dined on delicacies. In fact, one particular room reportedly rotated continuously, powered by an ingenious hidden mechanism. It's hard to imagine such complex machinery existed nearly 2,000 years ago, but the evidence discovered by archaeologists continues to amaze experts even today. This awe-inspiring palace wasn't merely a static structure. It was an immersive experience designed to dazzle and overwhelm the senses. Within its walls were artificially constructed landscapes filled with exotic plants and animals imported from distant lands. Guests could stroll through man-made forests populated with deer, peacocks, and other exotic creatures. But here's where things become truly intriguing. Nero even went as far as creating an artificial lake, big enough to stage mock naval battles with full-size ships and hundreds of actors. While the extravagance might seem unbelievable, historical records and recent archaeological discoveries prove these astonishing features genuinely existed. Yet despite, or perhaps because of, its overwhelming grandeur, Nero's palace quickly became a symbol of everything wrong with his rule. Romans, burdened by taxes and facing hardship, resented the palace's lavish excesses and the emperor's seemingly endless desire for luxury and entertainment. What happened to Nero's legendary Golden Palace? And why did history try to erase its existence? The answers are more shocking and revealing than you might expect. Nero's own ambitions and indulgences planted seeds of rebellion that would ultimately lead to his downfall. Just 4 short years after completing the palace, Nero's rule came crashing down in a brutal and tragic end, and the Domus Aurea began to fade into oblivion. Yet centuries later, something remarkable happened, something that would forever change our understanding of Rome's most notorious emperor. Hidden beneath Rome's bustling streets and buildings, archaeologists made an astounding discovery that would breathe new life into Nero's forgotten palace, revealing secrets that had remained buried for nearly 2 millennia. What exactly did they uncover, and how did it rewrite history's view of Nero? The truth behind this might surprise you. Beneath the modern-day streets of Rome, hidden under layers of rubble, soil, and history itself, archaeologists uncovered stunningly preserved chambers of Nero's Golden Palace, untouched for nearly 2,000 years. What they found inside was astonishing. Walls still shimmering faintly with flecks of original gold leaf, intricate frescoes painted with vivid scenes of gods, heroes, and mythological creatures, and elaborate mosaics that once sparkled beneath the feet of Rome's elite. But even more fascinating were the subtle clues hidden within these ruins, offering a new understanding of the emperor himself. For centuries, Nero was painted simply as Rome's ultimate villain, a cruel tyrant obsessed only with luxury and excess. However, the artwork discovered inside the palace revealed a different side to the notorious emperor, a cultured, sophisticated patron of the arts who surrounded himself with beauty, creativity, and innovation. One remarkable discovery was a breathtaking fresco-covered chamber called the Hall of Achilles, decorated with lifelike scenes of the legendary Greek hero's adventures. These artworks were incredibly advanced for their time, using groundbreaking techniques to create depth, realism, and perspective previously unseen in ancient painting. It's as if Nero's palace became a canvas for Rome's greatest artists to push their creative limits, making the Domus Aurea a masterpiece of both architecture and art. Yet perhaps the most surprising revelation from the excavation was the elaborate underground labyrinth beneath the palace, a network of tunnels and hidden passageways that stretched for miles. Why did Nero build such an extensive underground complex? Some believe it was designed for secretive, lavish festivities away from prying eyes. Others suggest more sinister purposes, perhaps escape routes in case of revolt or assassination attempts. As archaeologists continued to dig deeper, another astonishing feature emerged: advanced engineering designed specifically to create spectacular, special effects for guests. Hidden water channels, operated by sophisticated hydraulic systems, were found beneath the palace floors, indicating Nero could manipulate water flows to create fountains, artificial rivers, and even miniature waterfalls at his whim, designed to astonish his visitors. So, was Nero simply misunderstood? A creative visionary born into a ruthless political world? Or was he truly the decadent and cruel ruler history has long portrayed him to be? The discovery of Nero's Golden Palace poses more questions than it answers, challenging us to reconsider what we truly know about one of Rome's most infamous emperors. Even now, archaeologists continue to uncover new rooms and hidden secrets within the Domus Aurea, each discovery rewriting our understanding of ancient Roman luxury, innovation, and Nero's complex legacy. It's fascinating to think that the extravagance of this palace, once meant to glorify an emperor's greatness, instead contributed directly to his downfall. Nero's relentless pursuit of extravagance, symbolized by his golden palace, ultimately alienated his people and his advisors, fueling rebellion and resentment. After Nero's death, Roman authorities actively tried to erase his memory, and the palace and along with it. Much of the Domus Aurea was deliberately buried, destroyed, or repurposed, with some parts eventually incorporated into new structures, including Rome's iconic Colosseum. It's an ironic twist of fate. Nero's legacy of decadence ultimately paved the way for one of Rome's greatest public monuments, enjoyed by generations. Yet today, as we explore these incredible ruins, we can't help but be captivated by Nero's vision, a man who dreamed of creating paradise on earth, regardless of the cost. The Domus Aurea's legacy lives on, not just as a symbol of Roman excess, but also as a testament to the ingenuity, creativity, and ambition of an empire at its peak. What do you think? Was Nero simply an indulgent tyrant, or a misunderstood genius ahead of his time? The answer may forever remain hidden in the shadows of this magnificent palace beneath Rome's streets. One thing, however, is clear. Nero's Golden Palace remains one of history's most fascinating symbols of human ambition, creativity, and excess. A timeless reminder of how thin the line can be between visionary genius and destructive indulgence.